yr oedd tywyllwch yn y gaeaf ddaeth gelyn I drwanu ein Llwelyn. Hwd yr hedyn ar y llethrau, hwd y criafo ar y bryniau, hwd y dail ar garpio glwyni, ar hwd gwaed ar wellt Cilmeri.
Will it, Llwelyn. Today is November the 17th, 2018. Today, and for the last week in Carnarvon, they have been filming the investiture of 1969 for the Netflix production, The Crown. This will be shown all around the world forever, so promoting a third investiture and making the Welsh out to be the most grovelling of humanity. We can forget 1,000 years of their native princes and grovel to English royalty. There have been 3 princes of Wales, 4 with Glyndŵr, but there have been 23 English princes of Wales, and we're still grovelling. So, I come to Cilmeri today because it was here in the 60s that the Patriotic Front, myself and Tony Lewis, organised the first Cilmeri rally as a platform for radical nationalism. And it remained that till 1983 when we came out to protest against the Festival of Castles. But in the 60s we were more concerned with protesting against the investiture. The difference is 50 years on, Welsh nationalism has become passive and non-resistant, and the people who now organise this Cilmeri rally are just petrified patriots of no guts, or they'd be going to Carnarvon. I haven't gone. I've blockaded that castle twice. I've personally carried out protests in it twice. Today, I have got IPF, or I get very breathless and tired. And so I would have gone to Carnarvon, however, if Gwynedd patriots had organised a protest, but they haven't. Much to their shame, and much to the shame of all Welsh patriots. And so, let me say this, forget this Cilmeri rally, it's in the wrong place anyway. Llwelyn was killed in Aberedu. This Senate, if it was first started, by somebody angling for tourists to come up this way. In the Victorian times, this was a habit of Victorian people, like Byth, false history, fake news of its day. So I say to patriots, come here for one reason only, as a cenotaph to contemporary patriots who did fight for Wales, like Caio, Tony, Glyn, and all others. You bring your own crosses if you're coming here, but after you've had this ceremony at 11 o'clock on December the 11th, go to Aberedydd, the grave of Llwelyn, where he was kept injured overnight, taken there in a conspiracy, beheaded, and his head taken to London. And don't forget, his brother was hanged, drawn and quartered in Shrewsbury, and his wives and children, of all of them, were stuck in convents and prison for the rest of their lives. That's what the people of Wales should be remembering, not this nonsense of Prince Charles and soon to be with Prince William. Get off your Facebook bums and get out and protest. Hear God!
Colli gwaed a cholli bywyd, colli'r frwydr, colli'r hyddid, colli arwyr mewn cyflafan, colli Llwelyn, colli'r cyfan. Trist y dydd ar hael yn boddi, trist y fyddin yn Cilmeri, trist y grig ar fencydd dion, tristach gwad ar dorri chalon. Di oedd y dydd ger llaw Cilmeri, pan oedd gwyth yn nos heb godi. Di yr awr pan droes y borfa, yn o benydd un lliw ola. Yn y gaeaf yr oedd tristwch, yn y gaeaf yr oedd tywyllwch, yn y gaeaf ddaeth gelyn i drwanu ein Llywelyn. Hedyn ar y llethrau, rhwd y criafo ar y bryniau, rhwd y dail ar garpio glwyni, ar gwd gwaed ar wellt Cilmeri. Colli gwaed a cholli bywyd, colli'r frwydr, colli'r hyddid, colli arwyr mewn cyflafan, colli Llwelyn, colli'r cyfan. Trist y dydd ar hael yn boddi, trist y fyddin yn Cilmeri, trist y grig ar fencydd dion, tristach gwad ar dorri chalon. Di oedd y dydd ger llaw Cilmeri, pan oedd gwyth yn nos heb godi. Di yr awr pan droes y borfa, yn o benydd un lliw ola.
Today is the 18th of November 2018. In Carnarvon today, Netflix will be filming the final chapter of Investiture 69 for their series The Crown. We have decided, as there's no call from Gwynedd Patriots for demonstrations, we're not just going up there to find nothing happening. We have decided to find Llywelyn's cave close to Aberedo. And was it a job? So write to the council and ask them to mark the trail out, because it's really difficult to find. Now the flag I'm holding here is the flag of Llwelyn and the flag of Gwynedd. But today It's the flag of Charles Windsor, because following the investiture of '69, they stuck a crown on the centre of it to make it English. So this is not acceptable to us. Normally we fly only Banner Glyndŵr as the true last Prince of Wales, not Llwelyn. The last Prince of Wales is Owen Glyndŵr, and we fly his banners, the Golden Dragon and the Rampant Lions. But as we're at Ogof Llwelyn today, we will make a reason to fly his flag here, without the crown.
Wder hedyn ar y llethrau, Twd y criafo ar y bryniau, Twd y dail ar garpio glwyni, Ar gwd gwaed ar west.
In December of 1282, Llwelyn was on the offensive against Edward I, and he brought his army to central Wales, mainly because he had received a letter that local Anglo-Normans and Welsh were going to side with him against Edward. And so he was brought into a trap, which began with the bringing of his army down between Llangantin and Rosferrig. And there he camped his army while he left to go for a secret meeting at Aberedu, crossing Bont Erfyn in Builth Wells. While at Aberedu, he and his bodyguard, the Taili, 18 of them, were attacked, slaughtered, and Llwelyn mortally wounded, where they dragged his body to this cave for him to die slowly overnight, while they wrote to Edward I, asking him what should they do. And Edward had no doubt what had to be done. End it once and for all. No more princes of Wales. And so Llwelyn overnight died, but his priest who was with him took the croisnaid, the proper croisnaid, the piece of wood from the cross, off his neck and took off for Gwynedd to make sure the Anglo-Normans and Edward didn't have it. Unfortunately, later on in 1283, when David was captured with his family, some priests, Welsh priests, handed over the croisnaid, the crown of Gwynedd, and much of the royal treasures to Edward in Conway. That was the greatest of treacheries, for which they were rewarded. The Archbishop of Bangor was given great estates in Conway, and the priest who handed over the treasures, guess what he received? The first of the grants which colonised Wales, a coloured coat to go to Oxford and a place at Oxford University. So that, folks, is worthwhile coming to Ogof Llwelyn, but write to the local council and tell them to mark this trail because it's historically important and I want to keep it hidden. So remember, Llwelyn was wounded at Aberedu, but finally had his head cut off in Aberedu, in Ogof Llwelyn, and his head was planted on a stake in the Tower of London. His body was interred at Abadi Cymru, where Cofiwn has put up a memorial. That's also worth visiting. I've told you earlier what we should do with Cilmeri. Its use now is only as a cenotaph to contemporary patriots who fought for Wales in the 60s and 70s, unlike those today who haven't got much fight in them. And so, let us end here. But before I end fully, I got a little postscript which is absolutely disgusting. This is how the Daily Post, an English paper, sees the filming by Netflix in Carnarvon. The talk of the crown, or on the other pages, the jewel in the crown. That's what Carnarvon is being pushed as, and Netflix is filming the investiture of 1969. And as far as I know, there has been no protest so far. The people of Carnarvon have grovelled before the English royalty, like they did in 1969, and which they no doubt will do in the investiture of William. And mark my words, it's coming, and not so far away either. So, Gwynedd Patriots, get ready, get organised, learn to protest. The Lord Mayor of Carnarvon, I forget his name, but I don't particularly want to remember it. But you should write letters to him saying he's a snivelling cramber of Brit. And he used to go. Let me tell you about Davydd now, Llwelyn's brother, who gallantly kept the fight going to 1283 until he was on the run and hiding out in the mountains of Berrymawr above Abergwngregin with his taili. After a time in a cave there, he sent some of the taili to Bangor to see the bishop, to see if some way out could be made. They came back, Welsh bodyguards of Davydd, leading English soldiers, who not only captured Davydd and his family, but killed the last of the bodyguard who remained loyal, killed him and his two sons. And there's no memorial for this gallant man. And all we award today is OBEs and CBEs to traitors. So I can only say to patriots, this stupid bloody thing on Facebook of when will Wales be independent, never, never, unless you learn to make it difficult for English rule in Wales. So get off your bums and get active. Fe Godwin Ni Eto.
Ti oedd y dydd ger llaw Cilmeri, pan oedd blwynydd y nos heb godi. Di ar awr pan droes y borfa, yn o